Hi everyone, let's upgrade here with another episode of Linux Administration Essentials. I'll be back in a second. Alright, so you're watching me on YouTube, and this is going to be a session on monitoring your monitoring we did yesterday, right? So this is scripting within Bash shell. So today we will do a bit of scripting, and we'll understand first of all what is scripting and how to create a script in Linux environment. So almost all the administrators, almost what this is the necessity of an administrator to know that he exactly needs to do a shell programming some other part of his in his administration life cycle, right? So we need to understand how to do a scripting. So first of all, a script. What is a script? You might have heard of script writers in movies, right? So what is the function of a script writer, or what does he do? So in fact, a script writer writes dialogues, right? So we are going to write dialogues, obviously. But in our case, the dialogues are not those dialogues of the movies. The dialogues we are concerned about are the statements or expressions that we can just fire in at the prompt. Okay. So a script is nothing but it's a collection of the expressions that we can type at the prompt there. So with that, let's get started and show you that how an expression is created and how a script exactly falls into a expression. Okay. So here we have last day. Hope you remember that we disabled that graphics. So today we'll start up this graphics using startx command. Okay. So here we go. So anything that you can type in here can be typed on the script over there. So anything that you can execute here can be written in a script. Number two, a script should have executable permission. Permission. And for that, what you will do? For that, you will use this command. Use this command. Uh, chmod space plus x space script name. And third one is a script is recommended. It's a recommendation. It's an optional one. To end with sh extension. but it's not mandatory, it's optional one. Right. So with these three rules, we are going to create up any script over there. Now, you should have idea of variables. First of all, let's start up with variables there itself, right? So how do you declare up a variable? Simple, it's x is equal to 10. Now x becomes 10 here, right? So if you want to call up the value of x, type in here echo $x. So it will show you that the value of x is 10. So it's so simple, right? Uh, the x was an integer there. So now let's say if you want to put in some text or some string in there, so let's make it like text line 1. Okay, before that, there are some variables that is predefined in the system. So if you type in the command called env, you will get all the variables that is by default defined in the system here. So you can see here the one that shows you in capital letter is the variable, and if after an equal to is the value of the variable here, like host name or is your cost is m1.mydomain.local, right? So your there are several others like what is the user, what is the home directory, and all. So if you just type in here echo one of them that I showed you, echo host name, dollar host name, obviously. So it's going to show you the value of that cost is m1.mydomain.local. So there are several other variables. We are going to talk about that in a couple of minutes. But as of now, you understand that env shows you all the default variables that is available in the system, and all the default variables start with capital letters, right? Yeah, so we'll use one of the variable in one of the statements that we are going to do now. So it's like text line 1, text line 1 is equal to, it's not recommended to put up a space in a variable name, right? And I am just putting one single inverted comma. See here, this is your host name. Just typing in HUSTNAME host name, and I'll put a dollar here. Okay, so that's it. And I'll just use one more to here text line 2, but this time I'll use double greater than sorry, it's not double greater than, double quotes this. Okay, I'll just make it another way. So you are sitting on dollar host name. But remember that both the places we have used host name, but one of them is in uh, within a single brace, a single inverted comma, and another one is in double inverted comma. So let's see the value of this. So echo dollar text line 1, text line, see here, it's automatically taking up with that even. So text line 1, so this is the value. So you are in your host name, the host name was not resolved. You can see here this was not resolved, right? So if you just type in here 2, this is going to resolve here. You are sitting on this. Why? Because if you are putting up a global variable in a script there, you should, and you want to substitute its value, you should put it within double inverted comma. So these are the some of the basics that you need to understand. Right now, second one, like there was a command called who, or there was a command called w. Hope you remember that showed me all the users that is logged on. So let me just log on with another user at some other place. So it's a BPG, and here we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 as the password, and again we have one here somewhere Harry logged on, and 1 2 3 4 5 6 as the password. Okay, so let's go back here. Okay. So if you type in here W, you'll see that BPG and Harry is logged. Now I want to save this information in a variable there. That means all of these right from here, right from this place, has to be saved in a variable, the output of this command. So how will we do that? So just type in here all users, and is equal to, put up a backtick, and it's a backtick. Remember that what is a backtick? On the left side of where in your keyboard one is written, there is a small symbol, or it looks like your single inverted comma, but it's not a single inverted comma. It's a backtick. It's on the same key where your tilde symbol is located, right? So this is backtick, and I'll just type in the command who or w. So w here, that's it. So uh, now if you just echo the value of all users, so it's going to show me this one. So this is okay. That doesn't matter. It's still having the value, right? So I have the value is jumbled up a bit, but it still contains the value, right? In the same way, let's say I want to count the number of users who is logged on, and I want to save it somewhere. So count user count is equal to, I'll just put in here who, or who is also one of the command that gives you the number of users, and pipe it to wc-l. Wc-l is used for word count, right? So you are putting who command, and you are piping the command who to word count and counting the number of lines. So the number of lines, what is the number of lines? So first line, second line, third line, fourth line. So if you count the fourth line, that means four users are there. So this is the user count. Press enter over here. Now just type in here echo dollar user count, and you'll get the value. Yes, four users are logged on, right? uh, so I hope that you understood that how to create simple variables and how to substitute those simple variables and in a statement, right? Now let's move on to some other examples in there, like echo, yes, sorry,
Excuse me,
dollar
sir.
user count, you get the value. Yes, four users are logged on,
Excuse me, sir.
right? Uh, so I hope that you understood that how to create simple variables. And yes, Kriti. Okay, so I think Kriti by mistake. Okay, so echo. Yes, Kriti.
Sir, actually, voice isn't clear.
Okay, the voice isn't clear.
No,
So is the
sir.
voice clear now? Is it not clear?
Sir, not yet.
I don't have an internet problem, but still, let me see. Wait a second. So I have changed the volume of my
Sir, are you there?
So is it okay now?
No, sir.
So that means the problem is not from my side, I guess.
Sir, just a minute. Sir, now it's fine.
Now it's fine.
Yes, sir. And could you please check chat? They are having, I guess, some issues.
Okay, so there was a lag in voice or something, so I'll just repeat it once again. So the comment on this chat if there is an issue there, please. Okay, so I was talking about variables, right? Since you are scripting, since you are scripting, that means you need to know the variables or how do you use the variables. So if you use a command called env, you will come to know that there are certain default variables or inbuilt variables in the system, like pwd is one of the inbuilt variables. You have got host name as one of the inbuilt variable there, right? Now, in order to create your own variable, you just need to type in the variable name like x. I want to assign the value 10 to x, so x is equal to 10, right? So this is so simple. Uh, Now x has got 10 as its value. They are telling that the video is lagging. Uh, Kriti, what is the problem there?
So just a minute, I'm looking into it.
Okay, I'll wait for 2 minutes.
All right. So now it's fine.
Now it's fine. Let me check.
Yes, sir.
So we have provided the value of x as 10. So x is equal to 10. And now we want to see the value back. So type in here echo and $x. So in this case, you will be able to see the value of x here, right? So, uh, okay. Now let's say I want to put up a string over there or substitute the value of an inbuilt variable. So how do we do that? So let's take text line underscore one is equal to this system is called dollar host name, right? So now this system is called is just a string, a collection of a string, and dollar host name has been taken up from the inbuilt variable there, right? Here we have the inbuilt variable dollar host name. So if you want to substitute the value, so I type in here echo dollar text line underscore one, and here we have the system is called this. So they are complaining, Kriti, that it's out of sync.
So there is some server side issue. We are looking into it, sir.
Yes, Mega Mind, you can continue. I'll take the chats. Okay. So once the problem is solved, you let me know. Otherwise, we'll have to postpone it. There is no point of
Sure, sir. We are looking into it. Just a
communicating.
minute.
Mega Mind, you can take up the classes right away. You don't need to understand that what happened in the last class. Scripting is a separate exercise. Yeah, you should know how the command works, but still, it's not essential that you need to understand all of the commands. Scripting you can understand from single scratch over there. In Fedora, Nitesh, Fedora, my Fedora VM is not resizing in VMware, you have to install something called VMware tools for that. So here you have got install VMware. It's reinstall VMware tools because CentOS by default comes, CentOS 7 by default comes with VMware tools. So since you have Fedora, you check out that your VMware, what is the status over here. If it's telling to install, just go and install the VMware tools and you will be able to solve the problem. Just change your display settings after that. Yes, Wasim, I can understand this is a video audio sync. There is no point in just telling the dialogues and showing you the commands on the screen until the problem is solved. So once Kriti acknowledges that the problem is solved, I'll move further. Otherwise, the class will be postponed. You change the display settings manually, then so we have got here somewhere we can change the display settings, right? So like applications and utilities, I guess. Here we have got somewhere we can change the display settings or others. Let's say system tools. No settings. Yes, might be here. We have got some options over here and display. So this exactly lets you change the display settings, right? So if you want to change the display settings, uh, yes, we can. Wasim, we can start the process by changing its priority by using a nice and renice commands. So nice commands starts a process with our default priority, and renice we can change the priority later, right? But I haven't taught you that. That is going to come in advanced class. We can start a process with a different priority, obviously. Okay, see if it is okay now. Uh, Kriti, shall I move?
Sir, now it's fine. It's working perfectly fine.
Okay, now it is working perfectly. Let me check. So, people, you are acknowledge. If it's not working, let me know. Okay, so we just discussed here that x, how will we provide value of x to 10, right? And we equal the value of x. And again, x was an integer, so we wanted to know that uh, x has we wanted to put up a string into a variable. So x text line 1 is equal to this system is called whatever host name. So host name where from we are getting this keyword host name. So we are getting this here env and we got this information that there are so many variables. One of the variable is called host name. So that we substituted. So host name variable and the variable has to be put in a double inverted, the value of the variable has to be put in a double inverted comma. So and henceforth after that once you echo it, it will be substituted. So echo, the system is called causes m1 dot my domain dot load. Kriti, they are still complaining of some lags. Because yes, yum is not working due to old version. Yes, might be yum repository. So CentOS ended its life. I told you now on 30th of November. So hopefully the repository has also been eliminated. So might be it's not working that way.
So
apt
I
get
guess
will
it's
not
fine
work.
now.
apt get will not work in CentOS. CentOS doesn't contain apt. Okay, let me see if we can solve it. Now, let's create our first script here. We'll just go for VI. I'll be very slow here. Let's see how much we can be in sync. So VI and S001 dot sh, right? So this is the recommended one. So this is are going to be our first script. So first line I have to write in here is this shell that we will use for scripting the or executing the script. So hash exclamation mark slash bin slash bash. This is the first line in a script, right? Now I'll just use some simple expressions. So x is equal to 10, and I will just echo this one. Echo uh, the value of x is dollar x, right? And that's it. Simple. First script. So WQ. So these are the two lines. Same way I substitute. I wrote in over here, and I am putting it inside the script. Now we have to. What was the second? What was the second opinion in here? The second opinion was that after creating a script, you have to provide it with a permission that is executable in nature. So chmod space plus x and then S001 dot sh. This provides executable permissions to the file. So if you type in here ls-l, you will see that S001 is now green and it has got executable permissions x, x, and x here. If you want to execute S001 dot sh, and it's going to execute, the value of x is 10. It's taking from there. Okay. So now most of you might have done cell scripting, right? Uh, sorry, C programming. I mean to say, most of you have done C programming. So in one or the other part of your computing life cycle. So you know that there is a procedure to take input from the user, which is like scanf, and there is a method to throw you output to the user using printf. So echo is like printf. Now we want to take the input from the user and push it in a variable. So for that, we will use a command called read dash. One of you asked me that I want to use why should I use hash exclamation mark slash bin slash bash, because this is one of the cell that my system understands. So I can use hash exclamation mark slash bin slash sh even, or I can use hash exclamation mark slash usr slash bin slash python. So it depends upon which type of script I am exactly writing, or what is the script that I am exactly designing, right? So hash exclamation mark slash bin slash bash, and x is equal to 10. This time I will take the input from the user that enter the value of x, and then I'll reflect the message, right? So for that I'll go for echo. Okay, first thing, let's clear the screen first of
Excuse me,
all.
sir.
Clear.
So could you check your internet once again? Because our side it's working fine. They are saying that your voice is breaking and also there's lag a bit.
I'll change the gateway. Give me a second,
Sure, sir.
or let me change my internet. So give me a second here.
Sure, sir.
So is it okay now? Wait a second, let me write something. So hash exclamation mark slash bin slash bash and clear, and after that we'll take up input from the user. So read read. Okay, first of all, echo something that you enter this value. Echo, is it okay now, Sakriti? Enter the
Um,
value of x. And again we have to read that value. So read x and echo the
It's
value.
lagging a bit yet.
The value of x entered by user is it okay? Dollar.
So it's working.
It's okay.
Yes, sir, it's working fine now.
WQ.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I'm using somebody else's internet now.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so VI's dot slash. So it's a problem from my end. Maybe my ISP is a bit having latency today. Sorry for that, guys. So vi dot slash s001. So this is the first. Oh, okay, so let's cat this one. Cat dot slash s001 dot sh, and the first line is the interpreter that, or like it's like hash include studio dot h conio dot h that you used in your C programming, right? So it's telling you that which shell you want to use. So we use bash shell from last classes. We know that, right? And then we cleared the screen. Then we told the user that see, you need to enter the value of x, and user enters the value of x. Whenever user enters the value of x, the value of x is saved in here, right? For that we use the statement called read. So read is equivalent to your scanf, right? And we are echoing the message back to the user to echo the value of x entered by the user. So it should be entered. Okay, typo. So enter by user is x. So let's execute this script dot slash s001 dot sh, and I'll just say 6. So the value of x entered by user is 6 here, right? So this was just one simple script. Okay, now let's create a bit of complicated script. So now you know that with read statement or read expression, or whatever you say, read command, read we can take up the input from the user, and echo we can reflect back that. Yeah, same on the user's console, right? So now what we'll do, now we'll create up some simple scripts so that some fruitful result can be obtained, right? So okay, I will create a script that user types his name, system reads his name. So what we'll do, we'll like here we'll take user name as input, welcome him, welcome him, and tell him his home directory, and tell him his cell, shell, right? So we are going to create a script to get this info, this thing done. So vi s002 dot sh here, okay, and I hash exclamation mark slash bin slash bash, then echo, type your full name here, here, then we'll read the name, read name, and we'll echo, welcome the name here, welcome dollar name, And then we'll whatever we have to do, we have to say him hi. We have to give him his full name over, or give him his home directory, right? So echo uh, your home directory is dollar home. Dollar home is a default variable that we are using here. And then we have to give him his shell. So echo your default shell is dollar shell. It's again a default variable. So this is what is to be used, shell shell. That's it. So this is a very simple script wherein we are just putting in the full name of, let's say I'll put in Binayak Prasad Gupta. So he'll tell him, welcome Binayak Prasad Gupta. Your home directory is whatever my home directory is, and my whatever is my login shell. So save it. But this has to be given executable permission. So chmod plus x and s002 dot sh here, right? Now put in here dot slash s002 dot sh. It'll ask me what is your full name. So I'll just type in here Binayak P Gupta. Okay, so it's telling me welcome Binayak P Gupta. Your home directory is root and your default shell is /bin/bash, right? Uh, Now, if I want this script to be executed by everybody, so what I have to do, I have to put it in bin directory, right? So I'll just move this one, mv dot slash s002 dot sh to bin directory /bin, and alt fn f here. So this is BPG lockdown. So if you types in here s002.sh. So see here, I'm not typing in here dot slash. I'm just typing in here s002.sh. So it is giving his full name. So Yashwant shwnt Yashwant Modi. That's it, right? And welcome Yashwant Modi. Your home directory is /home/bpg. Your default shell is /bin/bash. Okay, so there are some questions coming in. It works without specifying the first line script type. Maybe it's set as default. Well, in Chandrasekhar, if it's a default, uh, the default mechanism is to provide the script execution or the shell that is will be used to execute the script. So even if you don't provide it, it's working, it's okay. But that is not the default nature to write a script. Yes, Sneha, but dollar is used to substitute the value of the variable. Yes, Megamind, you are very correct. Search cbang in Linux. So that is called shebang. This cannot be zoomed. This cannot be zoomed. So I'll just go over here. So this was your second script that exactly took up. I'll just cat in here. So cat/bin slash s002. So why did we put into a bin directory here? We put it into bin directory so that everyone can execute the script. Okay, now I'll create an if I'll show you something nice here. Let's say there is a command called ls, right? So ls command executed. So there is a special shell variable called $?. So I'll just echo the value of $?. $? has a value of 0. Now there I just type in here lo. So the command was not found. The command didn't work. So the value of $? is going to be a non-zero number. So echo $? Here. Again, I'm explaining it to you. The last command, if works, the value of $? is going to be 0, right? The last command, if it didn't work, or command not found, or some problem was there, then the value of $? is going to be a non-zero number. Remember that it's not always 127. This value changes, right? So we will use this $? Again. $? is a variable. Remember that it's a shell variable. So we'll use this concept to create a script so that when we ping someone, we'll get a proper message that the system is reachable or not, right? So I'll just show you some literal things that is related to that. So ping hyphen C2 uh, 8.8.8.8. Okay, so this is pinging. So the value of, just don't press enter anytime after that. So echo dollar question mark is 0. Now I'll just ping some arbitrary address that is not reachable, 1.3.4.2. Okay, so this is not reachable, right? So it's not pinging. So we'll see that after two times C2 means count 2. So it's 100% loss. So if we just typing a dollar question mark, see the value of dollar question mark changed from 0 to 1. Here it was 0. Why? Because the ping was successful. So we'll use this sort of thing, that this sort of dollar question marks expression to create up an if statement and figure out something out of it. Let's see. So I'll name it this as VI test connection, and I'll not put an SH in here. I hash exclamation mark slash bin slash bash. I'll tell the user to enter IP address. So echo capital echo hyphen n enter IP address you want to check. Okay, and I'll just put in some space in here so that it's visible properly. First of all, we'll clear the screen before that. After that, I read the value. So read and IP. Okay. Now I'll ping that. So ping hyphen C2 dollar IP and transfer the output to slash dev slash null. So what is exactly this one doing? So whatever ping reports you are getting, that means this much bytes of data it's pinging, I don't want to see that on the screen. So I'm just transferring the output to a dustbin. So this is how you transfer the output to dustbin here. So slash dev slash null is called the dustbin of Linux, right? So we are transferring the output or the ping subsystems report into the dustbin there. Okay, now if the command completed successfully, so how do we say that? So if dollar question mark hyphen eq 0, this is how we say the system, then echo dollar IP is reachable, else echo dollar IP. Okay, here we go. Dollar IP is not reachable, and then we'll have to close this if statement with F5. So it's simple, right? So we are pinging it, and if the ping gets successful, that means the value of dollar question mark is going to be 0. So the value of dollar, if the dollar question mark's value is 0, then the IP is reachable, right? So this will be reflected on user's console, or otherwise, if it is not reachable, it will reflect that the this IP is not reachable on the user's console, right? So let's save it, WQ, and see, obviously chmod plus X and test connection. Okay, just typing here test connection. Okay, it should it will not work because it's not in bin directory. So dot slash test connection, and it's telling me which IP address you want to check. So 8.8.8.8. Okay, it's reachable. Again, we'll do this test connection, and I'll just do something like 1.3.4.6. So it's not reachable. So I'll just cat it once again and explain it to you. Some of them are requesting to explain it. So cat and test dot slash test connection. So if you push it to bin directory, it will be like command, right? Just type in your test connection, it will ask you. Okay, so first of all, we are taking the reflecting this message on the user's console. So this message is reflected on the user's console here, right? So user enters this IP address 1.3.4.6. So it is saved in IP here because this is the read statement that is reading the value that the user is providing. So once this user provides the value, it's pinging it 2 times and transferring the echo messages or the messages of ping request onto the dustbin here /dev/null. Now, if this command worked properly, that means if it was pinging, then the value of $? Is going to be 0, right? So if the value of $? Is 0, then IP is reachable. So that is why I told you that earlier that the IP is reachable. And in this case, since the IP was not reachable, it told me that IP is not reachable. That means this IP is not reachable. So simple, isn't it? Okay, so it's time now for attendance. Please take up the attendance. Kriti, please take up the attendance. And can
Yes,
you,
sir.
Kriti, and you pin the attendance on the chat, please.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sir. I'll do that. Guys, please mark your attendance. I'll also be adding it in the description, so you can get it from there also.
Rajesh, I am not a programmer. I'm not a developer, in fact, so I don't know Python. But still, if you have a Python script that can be executed, search it out, figure it out on your own. Okay. So thank you, Kishore. If you appreciate that, I made you understand. Uh, Now, how to debug a script? Simple. It's debugging is see here. Type in here bash and -xv, and here we will type in the script name over here, test connection, and it's going to debug the script here. So it's see here, every time it's telling you that what it's exactly doing here. So type in here 8.8.8.8, and it's pinging here, and it's at the end it gave you. So it's nothing but simple. Just type in here -xv. It's used for debugging the script here. So obviously -xv is the one that is used to debug this. Now you create an error. So let's say okay, wait a second. I'll just see if what I can do. Get test connection and read IP. and if dollar question mark. Okay, let's put in here hyphen hyphen equal to. So let's make some changes. So hyphen hyphen equal to. Okay, it's the mistake here, right? So let's do that. So read IP, so 8.8.8.8, and thing it's not reachable. Okay, so here it's telling you that line number 6 hyphen hyphen equal to binary operator expected, right? So this is how we debug this. Yes, well and Chandrasekhar, FI is to close the if. Madhu Babu, I don't know what is the machine that you are using. So how can I help that? Uh, CentOS 6 is not CentOS 6 updated to CentOS 7. It's not working. Try to reinstall it. Try to remove everything. VMware Workstation, all the machines. Try to keep up some free space. Even you should have at least bare minimum 4 GB of RAM for everything to work, right? So create a machine with 2 GB of RAM. So this CentOS should have 2 GB of RAM to work properly. Because last day you saw that the free, how much of free RAM was remaining. So it was hardly 128 MB over there. So let's make it like 1.5 GB of RAM over there, Madhu Babu, and see what is the status after that. Whole of the Linux is case sensitive, Jay. Shell is case sensitive, not whole of the Linux is case sensitive, right? So if you put echo here, echoes, you might have seen that while typing, I just made several times this mistake. I just put this E in capital. So, and I just deleted it and made it small. Why? Because it's case sensitive. Start three instances of sleep 1 to 3 in background. So sleep SLWP sleep and 1 to 3 in background means just ampersand. So it's 1 to 3 has started in background there, right? So type in here ps hyphen e. Let me see what is the process here. There is a sleep process running somewhere, right? So if you just type in here sleep 2 or 4, it will wait for 4 seconds to give you the prompt, right? So I want to run this in background. That is what I wanted to know. That can you run this in background? So just type in here that this is the number of seconds, 123 seconds, and ampersand means run in background. Rajesh, let me take the questions first of all. Uh, we'll do more of scripting in advanced courses. There are many things: loops, positional parameters, configuration scripts, uh, conditional checking, and all. So we'll do that in advanced course. As of now, I'm going to take up the questions there. Whatever, even if you use Wasim sleep 100, it's going to sleep for 100 seconds. You have to put it in the background. 100. I am concerned about how to put it in background there. What is the equivalent of path in Windows for Linux? Windows for Linux. I didn't get your question properly, Raj. But if you are asking me what is path, so type in here echo dollar path, you will get the very value of path. But I'm not sure that this is what you asked. Yes, Rupesh, we can use today's script in Kali. You can, instead of ping, you can even use nmap. It's Kamal, it's not Control Alt Fn. It is Control Alt Fn and then F1, F2, F3, F4, whatever button you press. Fn has to be pressed, and after that F1, F2, F3 has to be pressed. Karthik, this is an assignment part. I'm not going to get answer to this question. How to create a file of a certain size. You, I'm giving you a hint. You can use dd command. There are one or two more commands for that. Yes, Jay, you can use sleep to delay execution of a script. We generally use that even. I haven't used WSL as of now. I am late for this, I guess. Windows subsystem for Linux. Madhu Babu. Rajesh, join my Linux administration classes. I'll give you the books free of cost. You don't have to purchase that. There are Linuxes. Oh, there are great books in Linuxes there. Come on, Manraj, you are typing in here echo dollar shell. Dollar shell should be in capital letter. SHELL shell should be in capitals. Smalls will not work. Spider, today's class still remaining. We have 3 minutes remaining to end the class. Rupesh, I'm not sure if there is an assignment because I don't handle the assignments. Control Alt Fn and F2. Just Kamal, press Control Alt Fn and F2 and see what is it is. Is it showing you a black screen? Like, see, if I am pressing Control Alt Fn and F2 here, F3 here. So this is your, and you type in here TTY. This is your TTY3. So this should show. If your black screen is not showing, you are not able to log on. F1 will back take you to the graphical user interface. Yes, Rahul, it's the same process. Like if you want to just add something to path variable, type in here path. Like say I want to put in, you can see my screen here. So I want to put OPT directory over here as the path. So I'll type in here path is equal to dollar path. Oh, come on, path colon slash OPT. So just notice the difference between these two statements there. So now I have added OPT directory to the default path here. So if I type in here echo dollar path, I'll be just getting OPT again or appended in here. This was not here. TTY and terminal both are same, but with a bit of difference. Like this white screen that you are seeing is called pseudo terminal or PTS, right? And the black screen that you are seeing is called TTY, but functionality is same. The point is that some colors are there. There is a difference in colors system subsystem. TTY and terminal both are same. Yes, correct. Okay, thank you, Vikas. Namaskar. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Kriti.
Guys, please don't forget to mark your attendance. It's there in the description box and also pinned in the chat. Thank you.